What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast No Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about some of the worst Horizon Forbidden West reviews out there. Now, I promised this video, probably on Twitter, on my main channel as well. On my main channel, we just discussed mainly the reviews themselves, okay? The actual game itself. But there was a good post from Sophia Narwitz on Twitter that kind of, categorized them, right? So we had these three. Now, right now, it's only three. Okay, 3 sites. Now, that's not too much. I'm sure they're in more than just these 3, and she didn't find them yet. Okay, I'm gonna make that assumption. But we're here to laugh at them. We're not here to, by the way, go after these people or contact them. And I know it's a stupid thing, and you have to say it in these YouTube videos because then, of course, one person could do it, or maybe nobody could do it, and these people will claim an army of people were sent to them to attack them. So you just have to do this stupid little, public service announcement. Don't go after these people. Okay, let's just laugh at them here. We have the usuals, the usual suspects. Great movie. Kotaku, okay? The Gamer. Now, these are 2 of the most notoriously horrible sites out there. There are plenty of others that will kind of pick and choose, when to come out. But obviously, you expected something like this from both of them. So let's read just this little small excerpt of Kotaku. We'll probably do the same thing for The Gamer, and there is, again, one more as well. To be clear, I never heard the word braves or savages, which suggests Guerrilla is listening and has taken feedback from half a decade ago to heart. That said, unless an explanation totally passed me by, Forbidden West never addresses why many characters wear outfits reminiscent of traditional Native American clothing. A point of contention for some, 2, in the wake of Zero Dawn. All that savior stuff, given that Aloy is white, oh boy, and that so many characters in Horizon and roles both crucially and secondary are people of color. Yeah, it's weird. Of course, it's weird due to these aforementioned embargo restrictions, which are so extensive as to bar me from mentioning a character who is literally in one of the trailers. I can't get into detail here, but the entire final act, the denouement in particular, smacks of colonialist colonialist overtones, all in the service of little more than sci-fi grandeur. In the coming days and weeks as players approach and they complete the endgame, it'll be a conversation to watch. All right, let me just freaking stop right there. Nobody is going to be talking about this. Not a single goddamn person. Kotaku makes me, honestly, they make my blood boil. Now, I don't care about them. This site is eventually going to go under. They lose money every year. They sell years after they were purchased for like 10% of what they were bought for in the first place. This company has zero value. Nobody reads them. The only way they get traffic is literally off of Twitter clicks, which of course is important to some people and important to the, these blue check marks on Twitter in general, but it really doesn't, it's not going to save their website, okay? Now that's just, that's just personal aggression I'm just trying to take out here. But no, I mean, like, I love how, and this is what they always do. Everybody does this that tries to push this narrative. They always make it a bigger deal than it really is. So they say some, right, that it was for some in the wake of Zero Dawn, the traditional Native American clothing. Who was crying about that? And by the way, I will say the word crying, and that could be an exaggeration, but that's, of course, what they're trying to make. There were people that could not handle, they had nervous breakdowns, they sat in their parents' basement, or under their bed, or, in the corner of their room, or somewhere, okay, in a box, right? And they were just rocking back and forth because they couldn't handle, for whatever reason, that some characters wore, or I guess most characters, wore traditional Native American clothing. I don't know who that upset, but clearly it was some. I also don't like that maybe Guerrilla actually did listen, right, to these weirdos. To be clear, I've never heard the word braves or savages, which suggests Guerrilla's listening and has taken feedback from half a decade ago to heart. Again, that's to me, that's not good at all. I hope Guerrilla didn't take any feedback from these people to heart because I don't want, this is the stuff that's worrying, right? And I know it's such a small thing, and I'm not saying like this is the biggest thing of all, of mankind, right? But the idea is these small things that literally just like 10 sites out there or 20 sites out there, which is just 20 people, and then their readers, which are a couple 10,000, right? Like they're the ones who get mad, and then the entire game is going to get altered to appeal to them. And again, no, not this one small thing that really doesn't matter, but this is one part of every, you know what I mean? Like, it snowballs. It snowballs. And that's why I don't, you don't bow down to these people. You do not give in to these people. You don't give them 1 inch, because if you give them an inch, they take a mile. I also like, by the way, that no longer is it okay, because Aloy obviously being a female. So here's the funny part, and I actually saw this in comments, right? This game and Guerrilla actually is probably one of the more progressive studios out there. Even just for the simple fact that you see, like, the main character is a female, a very strong and empowered female. By the way, that's okay, and I actually really like Aloy. At least I like her in the first game. We'll see how much I like her in the second game. But I really like that character. I think she's a great character. So, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but what's funny is this is a progressive game. I think in terms of, if you had a political spectrum test, right, this game would be pretty close left, right? You have Aloy, and then you have, well, they even admit it. They have people of color. I mean, isn't this what people want? Everybody to be represented, and of course, these people, they say they want like 50-50, which is, that's forced, by the way, diversity. And then, of course, what they really are saying is they just don't want anybody that they don't like. So really, just don't have any white people. And what's funny about that is that's what they're complaining about. That's the next line, savior. So they're connecting the fact that Aloy is the savior, which, is obviously the point, and she's white, and you cannot have a white savior, and we know that based off of Hollywood, we know that in games. So that's what's very funny is you can't even use the fact that she's a female to protect her anymore from these clowns in Kotaku, because it doesn't matter. She's a white female, and that is still half evil. You know what I mean? So that's very, very funny. And then, of course, the ending, when Kotaku thinks like the entire internet is going to be talking about colonialism, when this game is finished and everybody beats it, is very, very funny to me. I'm sure there will be some people, I'm sure they'll all write for these articles or these publications. Those will be the people talking about it. Nobody else will actually be talking about it. Then you have the gamer. There's no attempt to interrogate or explain the Native American appropriation either. It's too baked into Horizon's formula for them to abandon it, but the game seems to use that as an excuse to shrug it off. I'm not even, I don't even think we should give the gamer literally any, I don't know, anything really, right? These people are jokes. These people just try to, now, it is in their mission statement that they basically are trying to find the politics of games, not actually games themselves. They've actually admitted before to not playing all the way through games that they review, so I really don't think it's worth giving these people the time of day at all, but there is your little excerpt from them. And then we have Gadgets 360. I don't know who goes to this, but most of the people wearing them, including Aloy, and more importantly, and sound like modern day white people. That's not a good look. First, the natives were literally erased by white people, and now their clothing is being adopted by them. This is a few steps beyond cultural appropriation. I can't imagine. This is just me. And this is why I think these people need mental help. They need like therapy, asylum, stuff like that. I truly believe that for some of these people. Not all of them. I'm just kidding, right? But I truly can't imagine going through life and going through these games, which are supposed to be escapism. They're supposed to be fun. They're supposed to be entertainment. And yes, you can find faults in entertainment. Trust me, I have. I'm not saying you can't do that. But these things are made, or they were made. Now they're hijacked, but they were made for like those reasons, okay? I can't imagine going through every one of these games. This is what these people do, and just try to find these issues with them, and just create your own political narratives, your political ideologies, and just push them. Demand that the game has them. When the game doesn't, when nobody cares about it, you still push it, right? When you make non-issues, issues like Sifu not having, Asian representation, even though I believe somebody had told me, like, the person who did the martial art choreograph, he did actually study in that martial art. So it actually does make sense, and they actually did have a little bit of representation there. So credit to them, right? So, but I can't imagine. I just can't. I don't know if anybody said anything political about Dying Light 2. I'm sure they did. But, when these games come out, there are definitely actual issues. That's why, again, on the main channel, I talked about the actual issues, right? Seems like Aloy actually talks too much, which is very funny. It seems like the story has still not fulfilled its full potential. Like, it's not all the way. Like, there are, I'm sure, legit issues with this game. Now, maybe not, you know, I'm not saying like this game deserves a 2 out of 10, but I'm sure there's things you can actually criticize. These are non-issues. These are political points that these people, they want to work for CNN. I don't know why they don't just go there, right? You don't like games. These people hate you. They hate me for sure, okay? They probably hate you. They hate the gaming industry. They hate games themselves. They can't play them. They suck at them. Like, all of these things are true. For, I would say, probably 70% of gaming journalism, maybe more, probably more. And maybe I would say that select things that I just said. The rest of them still all think the same. They are all still the exact same people, and they don't like anybody outside of their circle. That is true for 96, 97%. There's very few, because most of them get kicked out if you don't actually agree with these people. So these people don't actually play games, but they, of course, want to push these ideologies. So again, I know there's only 3 of them here. I guarantee you there's more. It's just Sophia didn't find. I didn't find them. Okay, I'm a little lazy. Sophia didn't find any more, at least of right now. I'm sure, but again, I'm sure there's more of them. And this is, again, just a small little thing. I don't know how many people want to drive into Native American appropriation, okay? And that's what, obviously, the topic you'd have to get into to talk about it here. I don't even know if half the game journalists know what that means, right? So I don't know how much we'll see of it, but there's just another example, right? We see examples daily. Honestly, it used to be weekly or monthly. Now we see daily these sites, again, of just people that hate us, hate the games themselves, and they just do this kind of garbage. So, fun. I don't go based off of reviews in the first place, but definitely don't go based off of these specific 3. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up, and I hope to see you all on tomorrow's video.